This show's fucking great. For any of you who don't know, Smiling Friends is a new show on Adult Swim and HBO Max created by Zach Hadel and Michael Cusack, two early internet animation pioneers. It's about a company called Smiling Friends that helps cheer people up who are just having damn rotten days. It follows Charlie, Pim, Alan, Glep, and the company's boss as they go out and make the world a smilier place. I admit up front that I may be approaching this show from a slightly biased perspective. As a longtime fan of many of the people involved in this series, I was excited for this series ever since the pilot was released a couple years ago. And as hyped as I may have been for this, I'm genuinely surprised at just how fantastic this show turned out. Even when I remove myself as a fan of these creators, this is one of the funniest syndicated shows I've seen in a good long while. People have been calling this show a triumph for internet entertainment, and while it definitely is, that statement almost sells Smiling Friends short. It's not just that it's mainstream entertainment by some internet creatives. We've seen all kinds of projects that fall under that parameter. What makes Smiling Friends so unique is that it's not only, good, but also a piece of media that works in a vacuum. I love the mixing of art styles. There's definitely a consistent art direction, but the blending of different styles serves to keep the audience on their toes, asking, what the hell could be coming next? It also really helps to diversify the comedy of the show, and me, this show is funny. Sure, it's a little overly juvenile at points, and I fully realize that this will not be for everyone, especially anyone over, 35. But goddammit if this show isn't a ton of fun. Every punchline is properly set up, there's really great elements of parody between episodes, there's cheeky background gags, there's even hidden jokes you can only piece together by watching the show multiple times. Everything just has this energy to it that moves the pacing along brilliantly. It's honestly astounding to me that some of these stories happen in only 11 minutes. And that pacing isn't only owed to great writing, but also great voice acting. Even though most of the voices are provided by the two co-creators of the show, the variety of the performances and the handful of other voice actors who show up are just delightful. I know I didn't rank episodes in my first Talking TV video, and that was largely because that show's episodes were serialized. But since Smiling Friends is episodic and there are so few episodes, I figure it won't hurt to rank them in order of my favorites. Oh, and here's my rating system to any of you who may be new. Number 8, a silly Halloween episode. The pacing of this episode is the weakest of the bunch, and I think Pim works better as an ensemble character or someone with a subplot rather than someone who can solely carry a whole episode. Number 7, Mr. Frog. While I like the social commentary of this episode, for whatever reason, this episode just feels kind of bland when compared to the rest of the season. Number 6, Who Violently Murdered Simon S. Sallye. Really love the parody elements of this episode. There's just a couple jokes that don't really land for me. Number 5, Frowning Friends. I really love this episode, and it's probably the one I quote the most. Most of the jokes in this one are f***ing hilarious, but there are a couple others that stand out as weirdly formulaic. For a show so unpredictable with its humor, those couple of jokes feel forced and keep this episode from being as good as it could be, at least in my opinion. Number 4, Enchanted Forest, a fantastic parody of The Lord of the Rings and other fantasy tropes. Number 3, Desmond's Big Day Out. The pilot for this show is honestly one of the best episodes of the series thus far. It sets a groundwork for a great formula, and I hope we get more episodes with Alan as a key character in future seasons. Number 2, Charlie dies and doesn't come back. This episode is comedic genius, and Gilbert Gottfried as Jehovah was never something I knew I wanted. And number 1, Shrimp's Odyssey. Shrimp's Odyssey is the only episode other than the pilot that doesn't really embrace a gimmick. Not that those gimmicks are bad, mind you, but just seeing the Smiling Friends try and make someone smile with no ifs, ands, or buts is honestly a lot of fun. This formula works really well, and I hope they continue to do these simpler episodes every now and then. I really love this show, and I can't wait to see how Zach and Michael continue to make these stories their own further down the line. Please check out Smiling Friends for yourself and form your own opinion. I promise you, you won't regret it. And until next time...